Customers are faced with a series of challenges as they roll out video recording solutions. There's a number of capacities, components, and configuration methods within BVMS that help to alleviate some of those challenges.
Any customer, any user, anybody that needs a secure facility, the discovery process of identifying what's going to work best for their environment is a tedious task, right? So I think it's important that everybody understands that there are different management systems out there, and more specifically that BVMS brings a unique approach. And we do that by not necessarily operating in a traditional NVR environment, which 99% of people are familiar with. If you talk about IP recording, usually that acronym NVR is going to follow or be somewhere in that sentence, right? Well, BVMS handles it a little bit differently. And the way we're able to do that is through the architecture that BVMS was built upon. We are able to handle up to 2,000 cameras with just 2 servers.
Kind of wanted to just go through some of these topics, get a 30,000-foot overview, the general concern that these customers may have. First up, we've got the topic of resilience, right? We want to ensure that in the event of upgrades to a system or unforeseen downtime, minimal loss of recorded video. How does BVMS help us there?
Resilience is built in, and we show that in one of our videos here on how the operator client, which is the glass into the system, the window into the system for the operators, how they're able to keep doing their job, keep eyes on their facility, and make sure that they have incident response when they need it.
That kind of brings me right into the next one, which is the operator-client interface, right? That's what the end user sees every single day. That's what the security officer interacts with.
The important thing is whenever something's happening on the back end, that part of things stays the same, right? So there's really no impact there. There's not a bunch of adjustment that needs to happen on the operator's side. Again, going back to making sure that they're able to keep doing their jobs.
Okay, great. Still on the operator side and kind of the day-to-day experience, forensic search is a topic we want to sit down and talk about today. Can you speak to forensic search a little bit?
Sure. So there's always that, anybody in the industry knows that whenever you had an event happen and you needed to find out when it happened, usually someone can give you, it happened last night. No one's going to give you an exact time, right, usually. So BVMS solves the problem of being able to take what used to be starting at point A, fast forwarding through, which could be hours, right, and putting tools in that allow you to create rules against a span of time and take the time that it used to take to narrow down an incident and make it into a fraction of the time that it used to be. So it helps you, it just greatly reduces the time it takes to be able to get to the video you need, so you can get it exported and get it off to authorities or wherever you need to get it to.
Yeah, quicker response time means faster
Absolutely.
Action, right? Absolutely. We have a little bit more of that with the maps and the map-based tracking.
So another key thing, and especially for newer operators, you could have a system with 50 cameras, you could have a system with 5,000 cameras. It really depends. And we'll get in, you'll probably ask me about scalability here soon, but besides that, it's very difficult for someone especially new to sit in front of a system and be able to know where every camera in the facility exists, right? We have folder structures, but even then, we have a tree filter. Map-based tracking assistant allows you to activate a condition where you are given a priority camera and the 4 nearest cameras near it. So the operator no longer needs to know camera numbers or names or where this camera is installed. The system's going to generate those based on location of the map, and that way they're able to call out and follow subjects as they need to.
Yeah, I've always found it particularly useful for multi-sensor navigation. You have a cluster of cameras, you're not sure which one points where.
Exactly.
Makes it really easy to work through them. Yeah, you talked about it a little bit there, teased it, scalability.
Yeah, so whether it's a system, maybe it could be a remote site or a smaller system, we have anything, and we see some of them here, anything from a smaller system for a few cameras and scale that all the way up to a 2,000 or even 10,000 camera system. BVMS answers that call. So whatever the customer requirements are for covering and make sure that they have the retention time they need, BVMS can do that with the scalability, the flexibility really in that aspect.
As we get into that scalability discussion, you have that ability to really separate out those subservices. But the core architecture of BVMS is really what allows that. The management server, VRM, separation of the storage targets.
So I think it's key that everybody understands that the way BVMS is built is based off iSCSI protocol. And what that means is every camera, every Bosch camera in the Bosch and BVMS environment has a what's called an iSCSI initiator. It can attach to a storage target directly. So VRM is really just in charge of communicating to endpoint devices and telling them where they need to record. The servers aren't ingesting a stream like a traditional NVR system would do, which you need to have redundant hardware for to keep up, right? That's part of back to the resiliency piece where my server could be down, my camera already knows where to record, and it's going to continue to do that up to 4 days by default.
Great, thanks. I think the final topic to round everything together is we've really specialized with BVMS and the DVAR IPs in the discussions here today. What are the benefits of using these with a full BVMS system as we bring in the BVMS IP cameras and a full through and through Bosch solution?
So having your curb to core solution just really enables you to take advantage of all the features that the BVMS environment was designed from the beginning to provide you, and making the operators ease of use, really. So we need to ensure that, one, we're maintaining video when we need it, live and record. We need to have that fault tolerance built in so that we're able to respond appropriately, and then also provide the scalability. So if we need to, secure a whole new area of we may just do new construction somewhere. We need to be able to do that. Well, we don't need to rip out everything. The system is designed to grow, and you can do so at your own will.
I really appreciate your time.
Sounds good, Mike. Thanks.